All right, man. You heard what was going on there. What do you think it is? I know what I think it is. I think it's carburetor related. Let me give you the story here. I was out in the woods cutting up some of those big trees that I took down, and it just started. It wouldn't idle, and I couldn't tune it out. I ended up opening the idle jet like 2.5 turns or something crazy, and it was still just doing the same thing. It was bogging and stumbling, and on the high jet it would work okay when I got it up to throttle, kind of like I did there, but as soon as it was coming down off of that high RPM, it was just stumbling and bobbling and everything like that. So I think it's carburetor related. Let me get this carburetor off of here. We'll take a look at it. We'll see if we can't diagnose what's going on there. Put down in the comments there what you think it is after hearing it. Maybe you think it's something different. Maybe we'll find out what you think it is and not what I think it is. So stick around. Welcome to Man Time. Alright, before we get too much further here, here's the plug. And you can see there, it's, to me that looks really good. Really good. So now we know it's making weird noises. We know the plug looks good. Next will be a compression test. Alright, here's our compression. Looks like about 110-ish. Oh, never mind. I guess you have to hit it a few extra times. Compression 150. So we're looking okay on compression. We've got good compression, good spark. What else is left? Fuel? Is that what you guessed? Down there in the little bits? Alright, let's get this carb off of here, get it disassembled, and take a look inside. Alright, here's this carburetor. This is on the side with the little flaps there that controls and kind of meters where stuff is going. I think this side of the carburetor is going to be okay. I haven't checked if I have a rebuild kit yet, but we'll get to this in just a second. Let's get the other side off, and I think that's where our problem's at. That under there looked pretty good. The screen wasn't clogged. Basically, I was looking to see if those little flaps were stuck or worn out or anything like that. Under here is where you're going to have, this is where the magic happens. This is where the pumping happens. It's got a basically this is the pump side of the carburetor, and inside of here, I need a little tray for these. Inside of here, what I am gonna guess has happened is that the pilot valve is sticking, and or it is out of adjustment. See there? That's nice and pliable. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yep, sure enough. Okay, so here's our problem. And this is the same problem that I had that actually caused my 020 to blow up. But what's going on here is this little flapper. Every single carburetor with one of these, I've had it happen to me on dirt bikes, on motorcycles, on cars, and definitely on chainsaws. But this bends. This is just a little piece of sheet metal that's bent around here, and that is metering our fluid coming in. And you should be able to, they've actually got a gauge for this, but essentially it should be just below level with this mating surface right here. Right here and right here. This should be way up there. Let me see if I can find my tool to actually measure that. Walbro makes one and Zama makes one. You can get them on Amazon and stuff like that. But I guarantee if I just bend this up until it is just below right there, I guarantee that fixed it. Can you guys see that? It's just that thing, and now it's below our deck height here. That screwdriver's not touching it, but it was level down here, and it should be up here. I've had this problem with every single carb I've ever worked on, basically. Every single thing that has a carburetor, this has happened to me at one point or another, because these are just flimsy metal. And it's going 10,000 RPMs, and you run it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, that adds up so many times that this is getting depressed, and it probably gets hot. It probably, you know, just eventually gives way to all those cycles. So you can bend it out, again, just under this surface. I'll try to find my tool for it, and I guarantee we put the saw back together, it'll run. Alright, you're just going to have to trust me on the carb tool. If you want to get one of those, the one for the Walbros looks like a W, and the one for the Zamas looks like a Z. But the W actually sits on here, and then it's got just a little bit down where it's gonna, you can set this basically. But look at how easy that is to adjust. I mean, I just held down right there and then pressed down on that, and it bent it. And it was very light pressure. So let's talk about what that's doing, right? You've got air impulse coming from your lower end of your saw, and that's driving this diaphragm, and it's driving it in and out of here. And it's basically pumping fuel from the tank into here, but it's opening, when it presses down, it's opening this needle valve. So if you're unsure if this is your problem that you're having, you can depress this, and if this needle isn't moving, you found your problem, right? See that needle moving? I'm just going to put it back together. We just adjusted that. I've done this at least 20 to maybe 30 times on small engines. It's the easiest adjustment. It happens on every single one of them. If you just know this little trick, you'll be able to fix 90% of your small engines, you know, as long as the gaskets and stuff are good. You can still do the carb kit, but this is your main issue. So you can go online and get that W and that Z tool, so you can actually, you know, put it where it is exactly supposed to go. But I've done this 20 times plus without the tool. I ended up getting the tool, but I can't find it. So I'm going to do it like I've always done it, and it's always worked. So, man, if there's one thing you want to wear safety glasses when you're doing something, if you don't normally wear them like I don't, when you're blowing out these chainsaws, man, wear your safety glasses. I don't know if you've ever had a piece of wood in your eye, scratch your cornea, and have to go to the hospital and have either a sliver of wood removed from your eye, or have it scratch and just have that intense pain. But I've gone to the hospital for that at least a couple times. God, I'm stupid. Okay, so anyways, you learned the most common problem with carburetors that nobody's talking about. I mean, every single, and alright, preview for a future video, I'm going to port this saw, and looking at, there's two channels that really help me out, Tin Man and Iron Horse. I've kind of congealed down hours and hours of porting to help me port this saw. But I've looked at their channels, other channels, and constant videos about chainsaw issues and what it was and this and that. I haven't seen one video where it was the simple solution that I just showed there, which is the, I guess it's called a pilot valve or pilot needle. But that always happens to me. I've fixed and fixed and fixed and fixed and done and done and done and done. I don't know why nobody's talking about it. I don't know. Well, now the information's out there. You can do with it what you want. Subscribe for the next video where I'm going to be porting this saw. I'm going to do it the wrong way. I don't have the wheel yet, but we're going to try it anyway. I'm just going to give it a little boost. Exhaust, I'm going to open that up a little bit too. I just haven't been doing this saw any favors. My thinking was porting a saw, beefing it up, is going to decrease the lifespan of it. So, I don't know. And it may, but I'm going to try it. I had problems with this in the wood, and so that's what I'm going to do with it. But anyways, that'll be another video. Get out there, have you some man time too, guys.